Tripura, a land of enchanting natural beauty, distinctive cultural traditions, unique history of tribal kings stretching back into antiquity, became a part of India in 1947, bringing an end to princely rule of the Manikya dynasty in Tripura. With a population of 3.7 million, the demographic composition of Tripura is diverse. Around one-third of the population comprises people belonging to the scheduled tribes. There are about 19 tribes in Tripura. They are the Tripuris, Reangs or the Brus, Zamatyas, Chakma, Halam, Mog, Noatia, Kuki, Garo, Munda, Lushai, Orang, Santal, Lepcha, Khasi, Uchoy, Bil, Bhutia, and Chamal. The influence of Christian and Hindu religions has been a dominating force in eliminating most of the traditional religious beliefs and practices, and this especially among the tribals. The Reangs or the Bru, essence of religion is their belief in the law of karma and rebirth. Where both Hinduism and Christianity have a special effect on their traditional belief and practices. But the influence among this community has been revitalization for the search of a new ideology, which aims at securing an efflorescence of a new identity. The worship of different deities is a system to get relief from different illnesses or diseases. Indigenous religion and Christianity are therefore fundamentally incompatible. The former is essentially tribal and animistic. It shares with other primal religions a belief in ever-present spirits that use natural objects as instruments to bring about good or evil. The spirit world is at work in human beings and nature alike. Particular geographical features, plants and animals are thought to have special powers to help or harm the tribe. Rituals are designed to express adoration or achieve propitiation of such mysterious and dangerous entities. The customary rites and rituals of the Brus of Tripura. The Reangs or the Brus, in terms of appearance, basically belong to the Mongoloid groups and speak the Tibeto-Burman language called the Kaubru. Their traditional belief is basically animistic and consists of 80% of their belief. Christianity accounts for about 9.98%. The Brus in Tripura enjoy a very special status with regards to religious diversity. An important characteristic of the Bru religion is that it doesn't have any sacred scriptures. The religious ethos is contained in the people's hearts, their minds, oral history, and rituals. Their religious worship is animistic and bears a rich legacy from the past. In course of time, there was a culturalism of tribal religious rites and rituals with that of Hinduism, Muslims, Christianity, Buddhists, etc. A notable peculiarity of the Bru religion is that the gods or deities do not have any particular image or a place of worship, but are represented by means of decorated bamboo poles, or in some cases, a stone or a piece of rock. The sacrifices of fowls and pigs, etc., are a common sight. The Bru religion. The Bru followed their religious practices and usages for ages past. They have a belief on the benevolent called the Buraha or the Longdrai, and the malevolent called the Songrongma, Mainokma, Kunnokma, spirits called Fola, animatism, attribution of life to physical objects, animism, belief on natural objects, beliefs in dreams or divinations, magic, witchcrafts, omens, etc. The worship of the supernatural beings is supposed to protect them from all evils and calamities. Religion also serves to engender and strengthen group consciousness and solidarity. The Reang village has a community priest known as the Ochai. The priest is regarded as a physician called the Boido, possessing knowledge of medicinal herbs and capable of curing the diseased by means of herbs as well as magical incantations. The major rites and rituals of the Riangs or the Brus include Imshi Taimo, which is for health and family welfare, Sonai Rao, which is for family welfare,
Don Marini, do my Bavarian Koba, Marini Tini, my Bavarian Koba, my Retini, Bonsona Yetini, Hunting, Saturn, Yetini, the Sum, Hora, Jimmy, Hatini, Hanaki, Hanaki.
Boni Rao, which is to get rid of illnesses, Michael Moore for the sanctification of agricultural outputs,
Worship Tani, Runtuk don't Kailay, my back, da my back, Tabolaye, da Kuku Razagrano in Bosota Lahia, Fuzari, Runtuk don't pay my salary you too.
Homafakami for women, health and welfare, Korophango Tunairo is for health, Hatai Kochurimi for Longdrai god in a haunted place,
Sirena bukya jatini homa phatna homa thathatun thaina tini bosumati toge sujje bomu kongbaria tini manyam sido sasota kal dondera hudo samete do sakal thaina dondo thaina tini bhai kya ja bukho bede do sabdin sakal tini kal tini dondo tini bhai ha mangna bu mangna bu samye mangna rangjan batu dari thela tu ba ta jana auta ge hem ka re na auta che che ga auta misla ya ka che ga na am te kaya dang Sini bo magta mai lege bositani para puja binte wanu dosa sota wanu kal dondora fu dosa mete do sawan hiya bositani khali tanting bono lundai puja kheleyo
which then will be followed by a ritual called Sema Naimo.
Kabul tapo hote dan ke tira ke tini ho ho si sa sa ji juga sa ji ke tini Kabul fa fi ku bo la ji tini ba tini lai mani chi ne si tin do sa ti sa ta ni dan do tin tini wa lai mar bu le ba no khor bu ni khor ni para ko ni si ko ba Kormo banduma Kasa sake chau tu yam se Teti mai tloi ma Uha chei pho sai to wano Bora bazaye
Hasplay Me, which is for protection against ground-related illnesses.
Sorum bayo hong theu ke tin phai bu chore mur bu che tu be sidi sam be ri ke gum dinan si bhai
Teikato Taula Rimi, ending an oath taken in the name of the parents.
Mai ba kri kha khu ba kri khai ya ama gom ti gom phale mano to bai sang ya mai ba sang le khu ba sang le yo ai sirama gom de gom phale ba de ya to mo to don mara jom ko nam ju ka lang si mai yar mu ko ka thi don ma thi ni sama gom de gom phale ma de so mo to don mara jom mo to don nam su ko ka lang si mu mai yar mu pa ka thi don ma hai hai ya bui đi sĩ trùng phá bui rồi giờ thốn bốn nó cứng này vô tàu này vô hai sẽ tính cái gì sớm mới sớm mới tính là mà gồm thì gồm phải mà nó tính đòn sayu mai ba sayu khoba sayu tao là đó sa kri kha sota kri kha kal kri kha don do kri kha phara kri kha mle kri kha mrai kri kha cái tính tôi mà sẽ tính chơi đi sama sẽ sắp sang đi nó không chơi mai rong chơi tao là cái gì Sa gum phel ma de smu tu ten mara gum tu ten ma mangna bu sonya mangna sa sume rang jan ba te be ri fen ba te ya cha di khu sa se mak khit ne khurang khit ne ke ama gum phel ma bhai bhai sama gum
Tei Chau Mi, which is during illness.
Sau ya mong ya đại phương ya thong ba Srai Tharia said, my here to show like okay. Rajum, Rajum, the Sumba, Rajum, to me. She got up to so called not so as a buzzer to me. Rice happened, which is happened. Those are crickets for that. Ham to have that to have to know you to me. Zora, boy, mapa, boy, simple, boy, shop, boy to me. Couldn't put Sabia to me to be young Sabia to me. Ham to have that to have the. Wow. Here I let it.
Para care me for village welfare.
Mau nu le tumi toma con ya be no puja que tu ma ko share his lab is para su ka ko share jagra bo tuma bo ma su ma ba ke tumi ni yem sha ke atu mun so a che so ke ha do so to so ba ni bu je ro to to ma se asti Các có bốn lúc có độ nông chỉ độ bay còn một có độ tháp bờ thay độ thế ho 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 xìa phá phá xìa ô thằng nào thay cả lúc tuổi đi hà đô
Tau tro rimi for high fever.
Ayu chụp trong thế này do ra mày chuyện này mà ba mày chuyện này nhé cả hàm cùng thế này nhé tao chơi lại phải mi Sung lên em cô lên em à sẽ tin đó là số ta cần đừng để đó là mình cũng đó là phải mất cần phải mất đừng được phải mất phá phải mất cái sự sung vào lại cái nó đột và thế dần thế lấy trong cái sự lấy sự tại lấy sung tu ham to ha sa to thoại short to suba
And Asari Kamo for Thanksgiving. Some of the rituals and rites before or after childbirth are very special to the Reangs. For example, the Tui Chow. This is a ritual that is performed for the delivery of the child and also for the health of the child. And this is determined by examining the intestine of the fowl that has been sacrificed. Gibeng Bumo. In this ritual, a pig and 4 fowls are sacrificed for the good health of the child and the mother. Abosumo. This is by sacrificing 5 fowls and placing 5 local wine bottles. This ritual indicates the purification and the naming of the child. The Bachakamo, which is performed after 4 or 5 months for the good health of the child, is a ritual that is performed by sacrificing 5 fowls and placing 5 to 6 bottles of local made wine. Kongkokamo. This was a ritual that was performed for the proper growth of the child's intellect and for his long life. The ritual required the woman to wear a new cloth and to sacrifice a hen or a cock, depending on the sex of the child. She was also required to offer 60 to 70 bottles of local wine to the priest. Saja Tunairao or Saroi Tunairao. This was a sacrifice that included 2 fowls and a pig, and this ritual was performed specifically for the well-being of the child. Rites and rituals in marriage among the Brus were also very special. They composed of precisely of 4 different stages. Shunglaimi, which was the agreement between the couple. Kutaimachami, or the actual engagement. Koktimalaimi was the fixing of the marriage date, and the Soikemi, which was the actual ceremony. The marriage usually took place in the bride's house. However, before the bridegroom left his house, the priest would break an egg to wish him a safe journey. The groom, on entering the house, had to sit on the risa, which is a specific cloth worn around the breast of the woman. This risa was made by the bride herself, and while he sat on the risa, holy water would be poured on his head by the priest. The bride at this time was usually kept in a separate room while the ceremony was in process. Here, the whole night through, people would be drinking and dancing. The Songrama ritual and ritual that was performed after the bride was brought to the bridegroom's house. In the Songrama ritual, the main ceremony included and a cock was offered along with 2 pure local wine bottles that was offered to the priest. Whereas the Kati Chamo was performed after the bride was brought to the bridegroom house. It was performed both on land as well as on water and done by sacrificing 2 fowls or in some cases even a goat. This ritual was basically to call upon a blessing on the newly married couple. The rites and rituals for death were also very particular to the Brus. They included the Yafayo, Taubutayo, Lauto, which was actually God, was the owner of death, and for the dead person. The second ritual was the Sampli Bachao. Here, the whole night through, people would be drinking and dancing by donning the dress of a biangoma, which was a typical bird of a very huge size. The corpse also would be dressed alike. For males, the pyre would consist of 5 steps of wood placed on top of each other, whereas for the female, it consisted of 7 steps. Thereafter, a small hut or a smangnok would be built, where the bones of the dead person would be kept for about 3 or 4 months. The death ritual also had the charmo. Here, the bones were brought and kept in a small hut. Thereafter, a dance would take place around the hut. There was also the Luklaimo. The next day at dawn, a cock was sacrificed by the side of a stream or river, and then the bones were kept on a small bamboo raft and set afloat to be carried away by the current of the stream. There are rites and rituals relating to individuals or to personal or general welfare. For example, no cock mo. Here, basically, there were 4 types of rituals which were performed. 1. The Sani ritual during the month of August to September. Two, the Baroi Tainai in the month of September-October with the sacrifice of 2 male goats. Shonai Rao, Tainai, with a sacrifice of 2 male goats again.
Bokhe Silero Puntemo, Bokhe Sapta Mafelina. Sirana Pukira the book of the Little Dosa Sota Calbender, Abu Dosa Niku Dosa Tinisana Pukira the book of the Little Dry.
And the last one, the Hatai Malai Mi, during the new season in the month of April to June, with a sacrifice of 2 male goats again. The Nokhok ritual as a whole was performed by sacrificing a buffalo. This 4 system of ritual revolved round the whole year. After the rituals came another set of rituals called the Bar Yachak Mo ritual. Here there would be a procession of the village people with the owner of the house at the front, followed by 5 priests. During the course of this procession, nobody would be allowed to cross the road. The second part was the Samung Maimo, or the knowing works, was also again for the individual or the personal welfare of the person. Here, 2 pigs were usually sacrificed, one at night and the other on the following morning. But the body of the pig was kept in a small hut that would be guarded by 2 priests and one of their followers. Near the pig was an ink jar or a rope, 7 kuchloi or the seeds of a cotton, and 7 rice grains that would be placed. Which then will be followed by a ritual called Sema Naimo. If there was any increase in the number of the cotton seed or the rice grains, say up to 8 or 9 with the teeth mark of the pig, then the ritual was considered a success. And then there would be a very grand community feast. Here the owner of the house, the one who was performing the ritual, would have to imitate the priest wearing a new cloth. The priest would be dancing in a very intoxicated manner on the tune of a very godly drum beat. The priest would shiver and throw burnt maize seed, and the owner of the house usually received the seeds before it fell on the ground by spreading his new cloth. This festival took place for 2 days and nights. The tribals believe that their life and work are controlled by supernatural beings whose abode is around them in the hills, the forests, the rivers, and the homes around. The tribal communities in Tripura are therefore mostly motivated towards other religions via Vaishnavism, Hinduism, and Christianity. The influence of Christian and Hindu religion is seen in the celebration of Christian festivals like Easter, Christmas, Good Friday, while the Hindu festivals like Durga Puja, Lakshmi Puja, etc. Such conversion has significantly affected the socio-cultural life of the tribal communities. And in the process, most of the traditional religious beliefs and practices have either been lost or intermingled with the process of worship in different sects. However, in the tribal religion, there is no any sharp distinction between the spirits and the essential unity of nature and humanity. The world is filled with spirit beings, which can be approached and reverenced through the material objects to which they have attached themselves. Ritual actions that celebrate the significance of these signs are acts of faith through which each generation binds itself. In contrast to deep indigenous curiosity about the beginning of things, Christianity believes that creation is the unparalleled act of divine love that cannot be explained by any scientific concepts of causation. But the Brus recognize that their ancestral religion is incapable of reshaping any appeal to its apparently simple virtues and beliefs.
Thoma bisito, nuspo lasito, nuspo kirito, maya sumoto, maya pando eba, kormo tile, yasi yaba kiri yaba.